Yankees playoff picture is brought to you by Google Pixel. Learn more at googlestore.com. The New York Yankees have themselves a nice little break as a result of finishing with the second seed in the American League playoffs. The Yanks avoided the wild card round and will await the winner of the series between the Cleveland Guardians and the Tampa Bay Rays. Joining me to talk some Bronx Bomber baseball is New York Post Yankees beat writer Dan Martin. Dan, how's it going, man?
Good, Dex. How you doing?
I'm doing good. A little bit of time off for you. We know it's not really time off here at this time of year, but a little bit of a break from a baseball game. But the games are coming soon. You know that. Now, Dan, when you look back on the 2022 regular season for the Yanks, how do you assess what they were able to accomplish this year?
I think they did pretty much everything they wanted to do. They wanted to win the division. They did that. They didn't get the top seed in the American League. They were outdone by the Astros. But look, they had that great historic start to the season, and then they kind of crashed there for basically a month and a half. But they were able to kind of pick themselves up, finish the season strong. So I think anyone would have signed up at the beginning of the year for 99 wins, an AL East title, and the number 2 seed in the American League, because there were some questions going into this season about this team. You know, when they didn't sign a big-time free agent shortstop or a big-time free agent pitcher, but everything kind of came together, and now is the time that matters. You know, no one's going to really remember whether they won the division or won 99 games. If they don't succeed in the playoffs, and it's been a while since they've had a good run in the postseason.
You're right. It's all about what they do in the postseason. And you mentioned pitching. I think for the most part, it's safe to say that Yankees pitching overall exceeded expectations during the regular season. So which pitchers will face the most pressure to perform during the playoffs?
I think, you have to start with Garrett Cole. He had an up and down season, pitched like an all-star for the first half, and then was done in by a lot of home runs there in the second half, down the stretch especially, to the point where we're not even sure that he's going to start game 1 of the playoffs, which is a kind of an indictment on how he's playing. They signed him to be their guy, to be the ace, and there are questions surrounding him. There's just one bad pitch or one bad inning, but at this time of year, that's all it takes to lose a game. So I do think that they very well could start Cole in game 1. And all these questions will go away if he starts game 1 and pitches well. But right now, there are definitely questions about the Yankees' ace pitcher, who hasn't always pitched like an ace, especially with Nestor Cortez right there, who's pitched so well, and Luis Severino has come on well since a lat injury. Now, when you talk about pressure, the bullpen's going to be under pressure all postseason because they're undermanned due to injuries. So, there's a lot of pitching questions going into the playoffs.
A lot of pitching questions for the Yankees right now in October. And as we try to look ahead, which team is the better matchup for the Yanks in the division series? Is it the Guardians or is it the Rays?
As Aaron Boone said, he belongs to the be careful what you wish for school. And I tend to agree with that. On paper, you would tend to say the Guardians, right? Because the Yankees won 5 out of 6 games against them this year. They've had great success against Cleveland in the past, in the postseason. That's not been the case with the Rays, who have had their number in recent years. The Yankees did pretty well against them in the regular season this year. But look, the Guardians are a young team that exceeded everyone's expectations this year. They're the youngest team in baseball. They played great in September. But sure, they're from the AL Central. The Yankees have always done well against the AL Central. So I think that would be the team that they would prefer to play.
We will see how it all shakes out when the Yankees start the division series. That will be next week. Dan Martin, he's got a couple of days to see the Yankees in some workouts and, some time off, Dan. We're not doing any baseball games, so we'll see how that goes. That is Dan Martin, New York Post Yankees beat writer. Dan, thanks for joining me. We'll talk very soon.
Sounds good, Dex. Thanks.